Hey guys, welcome to Deep South. I'm Wanda. Today we're going to be canning sweet potatoes. Now I've had a few people say that they found online it says not to can sweet potatoes. Well, we raise a lot of sweet potatoes. As you can see, look at my floor. It's full of sweet potatoes. And that's only one field. We still have a field to go, a couple of raised beds, frugal bed in the front. We've got a whole row of white ones. So we have a variety of sweet potatoes. We're going to be canning a lot of sweet potatoes. So like I said, sweet potato everything. We eat a lot of sweet potatoes. So what we're going to be doing today, I've got Ashley from Weaver Farms headed this way. When she gets here, we're going to get ramped up and see what we can do to can at least 2 canners today. The reason we won't can any more than that will be that it takes an hour and a half to process in the canner sweet potatoes. I have the Ball Blue Book. So if you're looking to know how to can sweet potatoes, get a Ball book. I looked online. There's some really good information there. There's some people that have great information on canning sweet potatoes. But just know when you can sweet potatoes, the end process is they're mushy. They're soft. I like it because I'm making pies, desserts, putting them in anything that I need sweet potatoes. I make sweet potato flatbread, whatever you need. You open a jar, it's ready. You don't have to go cooking your sweet potatoes first. So that's it. If you're looking for a firm yam-like sweet potato, like the little pressed patties you get in town, it ain't gonna happen. Just saying. So if you want that, you have to freeze them. On page 64 in my Ball book, okay, sweet potatoes, you select freshly dug potatoes of uniform size and color. Well, ours are not going to be that way. We're going to make them similar. And you're going to wash them, and if they're small, you can leave them alone. If they're bigger, you can cut them. You're going to boil them in water, let's see how long. Until it says boil till the peelings come off. The reason you don't peel first and then put them in the jar or work with them is if you peel them first, they'll start turning dark on the outside, and then in your jar they'll look dark. By putting them in the hot water and letting them get soft and the peelings fall off, that cures the inside enough that they don't turn brown before you get to work with them. And then we're going to process them with either hot water or a syrup, and you can use a light, medium, or heavy syrup according to what you want your sweet potatoes to taste like. I usually make a light syrup, 1 part sugar to 4 parts water. You boil that, pour it over the top when you get ready to put them in your jars. You process for an hour and a half. An hour and a half is a long time, but to kill any botulism or any of the spores in it that you need to kill, always go to the time that these books tell you. Don't cut your time. Even though it makes them less mushy, don't cut your time. You can make yourself or your family sick. So let me show you the potatoes right quick. And yes, I have a cup of coffee. Always coffee. As we dig our potatoes, we never wash them. We leave the dirt on, we put something on the floor, and we lay them on top of it that catches the dirt. Because as they dry, you don't want to wet your sweet potatoes or anything like that. You want them to dry naturally. What we're going to be canning today is anything that is this big and bigger. We found last year by trying to save this size for baking that they turn stringy inside. So we're going to go ahead and can these instead of letting them sit in our cellar. This size here is perfect for canning. We drop it in the water, the insides we just drop into a jar. So anything that's small like this, we're going to be canning. The ones we want to save for baking is this size here. This is the perfect size to save, and they will stay in our cellar till at least December, if not January. In the end of December, 1st of January, these little spots that you see here, they're natural little indentions on it. You can see here. We'll start putting on slips. They'll start growing sprouts. At that point, do not eat them. Go ahead and put them in the garden and make you some slips. That's what you use to plant for new potatoes next year. But this size stays well in our cellar for, let's see, this is August. They will stay till at least through December. So 4 to 5 months in a dark place. You do not want to keep them in the refrigerator. Sweet potatoes do not do well in the refrigerator. They do well in a dark, cool place. Here we have our jars are ready, our lids are ready. On the stove I have my pot for my sauce. Behind it I have the pot that I heat my jars and lids up in. And we have our pressure canner and our ball book. We're ready to go. When Ashley gets here, we're going to start canning sweet potatoes. We are going to be using a big water bath canner pot that we bought, our stainless steel pot, because it will hold more water. I'm going to use it for putting the potatoes down in and boiling them because it will hold the heat better. The little one will be used for our syrup, our light syrup we're making. Guys, all these sweet potatoes need to cure. After you dig them from your garden, they need to cure for at least 2 weeks to be really sweet. And these across here are only about a week old. We dug these the first of last week. So all these back here in the very back, which makes it very difficult for me to get to, are the ones that we dug a little over 2 weeks ago. So I've got to can what needs to be canned from back here first. Then I will can from here second. And next week we will start here. You can eat these from the minute they're dug. It doesn't matter, but they are sweeter within 2 weeks because when you first dig them, this outer part here, the skin, is real thin and it just rubs off just about it. You want to give it 2 weeks to where the outer skin puts a sealant around it and it's a little bit thicker. The older it gets, the thicker the skin gets to protect the inside of the potato. If you want to know more about sweet potatoes, order Danny's Sweet Potato Manual. It's at our Etsy store at deepsouthhomestead.etsy.com. Danny tells you all about sweet potatoes, how to grow them, and we even have a few recipes in there. So I'm going to start back here with the first sweet potatoes we dug, and we're going to get to canning, guys. If you hit any of your sweet potatoes and scarred them, they will heal over. But we have a few, let me see where it went, like this. They will scar over and heal. But these are the ones I like to use first. There was several of them like this. There's not much left of this potato. Danny pretty much chopped it in half, and the other half is probably like right here. So these I will use now. These will go in what we're doing today. Even though they're not as cured, I like to use them before I lose too much of the meaty part of the potato. You don't want to store these for long periods of time. You want to use them up as quickly as possible. And any that have ant bites, we have some like this that has the ant, where the ants and the different insects had started in on it. These you want to use first. All your smaller potatoes, and any of your giant big potatoes. These are the ones that we will can first. This is our giant potato. When I can this one, we're going to see what it looks like. We're going to chop it up. I'm just curious to see what a giant potato looks like inside. All right, so Ashley is working on the big crazy potato. We're seeing how, I don't know how we're gonna cut this one without getting our fingers under it.
I know, that's the problem. It's kind of solid. It's like cutting into a coconut.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be careful and easy with this.
Mm-hmm.
You wanna see what it looks like on the inside. Just work your way around a little at a time. Because we don't want to lose fingers this early in the morning. With something this big, a hatchet would have been.
I know, we might need to call in the professional, Mr. Danny, in with his
Danny,
power
what do you
tools.
do? He probably would lay it on the ground and throw a hatchet at it. Yeah, it's gonna break.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see, it looks good inside. We just wanted to know what it looked like. We're gonna chop this up into smaller pieces, little by little, and we're gonna put it in a jar. We should have at least one, if not two jars out of one potato, huh?
It looks like it.
So what you think?
Smells delicious. I'm ready to eat them.
Our canning went great today. We have 7 jars there. The pressure canner is cooling off for the next batch, and I'll start again tomorrow or the next day. I'll be canning sweet potatoes for a while. I still have a floor full. Look at this. I only got a few potatoes from the very back here, and so I haven't even made a dent in these sweet potatoes. So it looks like it's going to be sweet potato everything for a while here at Deep South Homestead. And thank you, Ashley from Weaver Farms, for coming and helping today. We had a blast. Ashley's always been a lot of fun to be around. She came to my cooking class, and she and Dean were here when we butchered chickens. So Ashley got to see how many sweet potatoes we have, and we're not through yet, guys. We still got more to dig. And she got to see how to can sweet potatoes. Thank you, girl. Thank you from Deep South Homestead.